2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beyond the Code. We just had fantastic lunch and dessert, and I'm now joined by Dan Kamieniecki.
That's right.
Never know if I pronounce people's names in English the same way as it's supposed to be in Hebrew. So check on that one. Dan is the head of digital assets at the Israeli Tel Aviv Stock Exchange.
That's right.
And I'm not going to tell you anything else about him. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Sure.
You've been there for quite a while also, which is like in today's day and age, it's rare for anybody to be anywhere for more than 5 minutes. It's like, what, like 7 years or something?
7 years, yeah. So actually first of all, good to be here and thanks for the invitation. I have been in the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange for the last 7 years. In the last 2 years, I'm building the digital assets business of the exchange. Before that, I was mainly in the public sector. So I work in the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Israel, Israeli Parliament. So yeah, for the last 2 years, we try and we want to build this new business for the exchange.
It's definitely a new business, and there's definitely a lot of overlap between like securities and digital assets. Tell me what's your mission statement as like head of digital assets? Like, are you looking more towards companies? I mean, I'm not familiar enough with companies that have gone public here in Israel, but like just looking at like Circle and Coinbase that have launched. Like, are you looking at companies with infrastructure? Are you looking at like tokenized assets that are like launching, or either like tokenizing existing securities that are traded on the TASE, or like give me a little bit more direction as to like
So I think that mainly, we have been in the digital asset arena officially from 2022, I think, when we published our strategy for the next 5 years, and we decided to go and try to build this digital assets business. Mainly, our approach is kind of dual, if we can say that. So on one hand, we're trying to, we see the demand, we see the new assets. So we do think that institutions like us can bring value and experience to these new assets and to new demands. So we're trying to bring that, for example, offering crypto-oriented services, mainly custody services for regulated entities in Israel. That's on one hand. On the other hand, as you said, we're trying to bring the technology into our traditional markets. So more that has to do more
infrastructure side.
That's right. So we're trying to build, to tokenize securities. We built in the past a platform to issue tokenized bonds for the Ministry of Finance. We're trying to build bridges with the new services that Bank of Israel are trying to build.
You're doing that like in-house, like the TASE is driving the actual building of this, or you're funding it through like grants and third parties, the ones who are doing the building?
So part of the things we're building using or with partners. So for example, all our crypto custody services, its first model is based on Fireblocks. So we have been partnering with Fireblocks for a while. On the tokenized side of the business, part of the things we're building in-house, and part of the things we're partnering, for example, with Fireblocks and others.
Okay. So if I'm like a newly listed security on the TASE, and I come into your office, what do you have to offer me?
So for a new company issuing, stock in TASE, it's still early to come to Dan.
So if I'm an old company with like that I've been trading for 10 years in the TASE, and I come for a meeting with Dan.
Right now, we don't have, these services that we're trying to build are more
future.
The business side is on the crypto side.
Okay.
So the earnings will be on that side. On the traditional side, we're still building the rails, the base. We're still using, building POCs or trying to build those bridges between critical financial institutions in Israel. So I hope that in a few years, and maybe you saw that NASDAQ published a few days ago that they're going to move to tokenized securities. So I hope that will be the direction that we will take in Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. Again, it's a journey. We do need the regulator and some other financial players in Israel to talk in the same language. But I think we're going in a good direction.
Okay. So, I mean, Israel in many ways is like, a driving force on the tech layer of things. Unfortunately, like on the regulatory side of things, and you guys aren't really a regulator, but I guess like you have a bit more of an overlap with them. They're less creative and tend to just kind of like, copy paste whatever regulators in the United States are doing. So are you guys like looking to the NASDAQ to see like whatever they do and just kind of like follow suit? Or are you like leading the way and in a sense like creating things that others can copy and paste outside?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, I was a regulator in the past, so
Okay.
I'm not.
So you can relate.
But I think that we were trying to be leader and to lead and to push forward. I think that regulators, it doesn't matter if it's in Israel or in other places, they have their tempo, their time. They do need to go through a journey.
Mhm.
Those changes are not, from 0 to 1. I hope that changes that are happening, in Europe with MiCA and obviously in the States will bring some, new energy to the local regulators. We are in contact with regulators in Israel to try to explain to them the rationale behind what we are trying to push. But obviously, we will do only, we are a very regulated entity, so we won't offer services that are not 100% approved by the regulator. So
So you can't push too much.
that's right.
Okay, very cool. But give me something to get excited about, like a promo maybe to something that you guys are working on.
So we're working different kind of models to offer crypto services to the local and regulated entities, and we are trying to build something more on the stablecoin side of the things. I think stablecoins were in this year like super boom. I still think that we as an exchange and as a clearinghouse has a lot of value that we can bring into those new markets of stablecoins. So we're trying to build
Okay, and what about
these
real world
solutions.
assets?
So obviously, tokenizing things is something that we have been doing for a while. As I said before, we started with the governmental bond. Obviously, the fact that NASDAQ is moving forward
Will
to
make it easier for you guys to
yeah,
do.
yeah, for sure. They're partnering with the DTC. So the DTC is actually, the we are the clean house. We're not only the matching engine, but also
Yeah.
the clearing house. So the fact that one of the biggest exchanges in the world is actually partnering with DTC with the clearing house,
So you
and
could say to the regulators like,
yeah.
see, look what they're doing.
I hope it will help. So we will be able to tokenize many things in the
Okay,
next
I'm
years,
excited.
hopefully.
All right, thanks so much for joining me, Dan.
Right. Thank you.